Alright, there we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your every other Sunday writing workshop. And I am just getting settled. Sorry, I'm reading Frosty Tools. Oh, that's funny. At least Frosty Tools has a sense of humor. I gotta give it props for that. Alright. Yeah. Hold on, my closed captioning isn't working. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Yes, I am reading the chat responses from Frosty Tools. That's actually quite funny. Oh, thank you. Hi, Sunshine. Yes, let me do a stretch, because I was totally just slouching. Not sure if I have a mod yet this evening, but I will do it again. I don't usually have too much trouble. So. Oh my goodness, sorry, I just spiked my mic. Oh. You are very welcome. Alright. So we are continuing our work on... Oh goodness, I gotta fix my chat overlay. Hold on 2 seconds while I address that. I just realized that the text is sitting up on the thing. Give me 1 second. Where the heck is that? Oops. You're very welcome. I may need to actually... Give me a second. I think that's actually in Stream Elements. Wraith, thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Especially because that is a Prime sub and you only get one of those a month. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Alright. Sorry, I'm dealing with fixing my chat relay because it's being a pain in the butt. It's supposed to be... I don't know if you guys can tell, but the text is a little bit... let's see. What the heck is going on? I will have to fix that later. It's whatever. It's just gonna bug the crap out of me. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the text on my chat overlay is being a little funky. But I'll fix it later. I was doing some rearranging on my scenes, so it kind of... Ooh. Hold on. There we go. It disappeared. I think you can actually... I know. Somebody else was telling me that. Because if I change it, it's not going to affect it for you. So you should be able to actually change the layout of the closed captioning yourself. It's on the overlay on Twitch. Yeah, I gotta work on that. Might have to rearrange where my camera's at. Sorry. I know Tubbo was saying something about that last time. I mean, if you guys want, I can try and move my camera around like hotfix it, but let's see. It's gonna take a little bit of work. Yeah, it's actually super easy on the Twitch end of things. Unfortunately, I can't fix it on my end because it's a extension on Twitch, so it has to be done on the user's end of things. But that is actually a great point and something that I should look into fixing. But I kind of like my layout. Yeah, so I'll have to look at that. Where was I? Oh, yes. And before anybody gets any weird ideas about the story title, it's not what you think. Alright. I've had some people take it completely the wrong way, which is not how it's intended. So. So for anybody who is new to my writing and editing streams, I'm just going to kind of put this out there. The title for this story, yeah, that's because it's in Mandoa, and I'm that kind of nerd, okay? So it is a Mandalorian proverb that translates. It's a Mandalorian proverb that translates as, let me think a second. Train your sons to be stronger. Train your sons to be strong, but train your daughters to be stronger. There we go. And I will routinely shorten the title when I'm talking about it to train your daughter or just TYD for short. And when I first started doing editing on this story, and even reading, some people were like, what are you writing about? I'm like, you guys are weird and it's not what you think. It's totally not what you think. People's brains went totally the wrong way. Because people are strange. Yeah. And if you guys want, I can actually, if you guys want to help with some feedback or something, I can actually link you the chapter if you want. So give me 1 second while I do that. Also, I figured out how to hide my bookmarks bar. It's great. So that is the chapter that I'm currently editing. It's chapter 19. So if you guys want to follow along, you're welcome to do so. Might make it better for to keep up with what I'm doing. I will let you know that Archive of Our Own was down a little while ago, so that was fun. I was like, oh, what am I going to do if they're not up? If they're not running? So I was having a minor panic attack. Oh, you redeemed a stretch, Sunshine. Let me take care of that for you. I do way too much slouching. Okay, there we go. Stretch redeemed. Also, Wraith, since you're new, please feel free to check out the channel point commands, the bits redeems, the just straight up chat commands. There's a whole bunch down at the bottom underneath the stream, so please feel free to look at those and play with them to your heart's content. And I would love to find a way to get my closed captioning over onto my YouTube videos that I export. That'd be great. But unfortunately, I haven't figured that out yet because the way that I'm doing it on Twitch is actually a extension for Twitch itself. So I haven't figured out quite how to do that just yet. Sorry, there we go. My earbuds were being really uncomfortable for a second. When I'm editing, I actually prefer to wear the earbuds because they're actually a lot more comfortable. Because I spend a lot of time on the computer, and I don't know about you, but wearing regular headphones actually makes my ears hurt after a while. Nobody has redeemed that. That'll be a good one. I don't normally curse. I really try not to. So that's why that one is like 1,500 points. Because I generally don't curse. I really try not to. I try to keep my stream PG-13-ish because some of my youth kids and some of my coworkers do pop into stream periodically, so I try to keep it, polite. But yeah. So there are... So when I'm gaming, there is a little bit of cursing, but I do try to keep it to a minimum. And when I'm reading, there's lots of Star Wars cursing, so we'll see. We will see how that goes. Oh goodness. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so if I'm gaming or something like that, more likely to be cursing, but we'll find out. But yeah, that's a good one. That's actually the first time that anybody's redeemed that, so good on you, sir. I will endeavor to not curse. And the chapter that I linked in the chat is the one that I'm actually editing right now. Right meow. It is chapter 19. And okay. Maybe it's just my earbuds. I feel like I'm blowing my eardrums. Okay. I think it's just me. I think it's just me being like super freaking sensitive because I tend to be with that stuff. So I'm gonna turn down a little bit more. See if that still comes through on the stream. Okay. Yeah, I just had to up it a little bit. Illustrations would be interesting. I've never actually had anybody ask me that. I have run some like AI generated stuff before, but actual illustrations would be really cool. Jaddy, any kills? You have piqued my interest. Doesn't necessarily apply to anything in this story because none of my characters were killed, but worth considering. Also, yes, I use Grammarly to help with grammar a little bit. Oh, thank you, Frosty Tools. Thank you, Frosty Tools. Yeah, definitely secrets. Cheapers. I absolutely adore Frosty Tools. Oh, sure, yeah, please do. Please do. I've tried a couple of different tools to try and get visuals on some of the characters. Um, Depending on which one you use and how you phrase it, you can actually get some good ones. But I'm not using it to like do any art to like sell or anything, because I know that it actually uses like other artists' work too. So I'm trying to be really careful with that. 'Cause that's a whole nother issue. So, okay. And while I may be using Grammarly, I don't always take everything that it gives me, because it's a computer, essentially. Yeah, and as far as the music goes, do let me know if it's too quiet or too loud. Still trying to find a balance for it. Oh, goodness. But yes, I will endeavor to not curse, because that's a good one. No problem. We'll be here. Thanks, Frosty Tools. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty low key tonight. It's an editing stream, but do feel free to ask questions, and give input as you like. I am always welcome to always. Wow, English is hard today. Always open to feedback and constructive criticism, and always willing to answer questions about the stories. For those who might be new or are unfamiliar with my stories, I have been writing Star Wars fanfiction for over 25 years. Well, I guess 25 years at this point. Oh, I can't keep track of the time. Started out writing cooperatively, and at this point, it's just me. So I'm kind of maintaining the older stories and, continuing to work on the ones that focus on my character. And as far as timeline, post Vong War books, actually. So if you read any of the Vong War novels, our stories take place after those. So, just for a little bit of context for you. Alright. But yes, please feel free to play with the toys, redeem commands. I actually have a widget on my OBS so I can see when people do that. Which is incredibly helpful. I still have not figured out how to do, like, sound alerts or anything like that. I'm not that fancy yet. I'll get there eventually. Oh, thank you for that, Sarah. That is very, very good. Very good. You'll have to let me know which AI generator tool you used, because that's pretty cool, actually. I use a couple of different ones. The English in this is killing me. So, or what rather Grammarly tries to tell me to do. slouching. Oh, bad. There we go. Do this. I love having a chair that I can actually adjust the armrests. It's lovely. So now I'm actually at the proper height and not doing strange things with my arms. We have an ad starting in about 5 minutes, just so you guys are aware. I do appreciate when you hang out and stick it out through the ads. They do help support the channel. I do not ask for subscriptions or bits or anything like that. I do appreciate when they're given. It's very much appreciated. But if you do like the content and would like to support the channel, there are multiple ways to do so. You can subscribe directly to the channel. You can use a Prime subscription, but do note with the Prime you get one per month and you have to manually renew it. The other thing that you could do is if you have multiple streamers on Twitch that you like to follow but don't want to pay the subscription 6 times, you can actually get Twitch Turbo, which is I believe $12 a month, and it removes ads all across Twitch and supports and it gives a little bit of revenue to the streamers that you watch, because they'll still get the ad revenue, and maybe a little bit of that as well. So some ways to support the channel if you would like to. Not required. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. But yes, please feel free to yell at me if you see me slouching or squinting. I'm really bad about that. Most of my commands here on the channel are actually self-care. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of us do really poorly at taking care of ourselves. So, I like to support self-care, whether it's my own or everybody else's. So, please make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Make sure that you're drinking your water and stretching if you need to. One of the things that I like to do, especially when I'm doing streams like this, where I'm either editing or reading, I make sure I go put eye drops in. Because if I don't do that, my eyes start burning about 10 minutes in. So... Goodness. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually a little cold. So, that's why I'm, weather shifting up here. It's been down in the 20s where I live, so I have to make sure I have blankets and things like that. It's super important to stay warm. Oh, we have an ad. Alright, just gonna end in about 45 seconds. And we are back from our ad. Thanks so much for hanging out through that ad. And welcome back. As I'm sitting here editing things. Oof. I may have to snag a blanket. Yeah. Oops. Grabbing a blanket. Yeah. Pardon me while I deal with that. Yeah. Okay. That's better. Oh, welcome back. He came back at the end of the ad. And I had to pause and snug a blanket. I'm a lot more sensitive to cold than I used to be. So I have to make sure that I always am wearing socks and have a blanket handy. Because if I sit still too long and it's cold, I start having issues. So try to keep myself warm. Okay, Grammarly. Okay, you told me I'm done. What? Okay. Okay. Yeah, there was an ad going on. Shouldn't have froze the stream though. But it may have. I don't know. Okay, that's better. Yeah, sometimes when I tell Grammarly to fix something, it breaks it anyway. So I just had to go fix it. Are we actually done now? Okay. Cool. And if anybody is following along on Archive of Our Own, I am popping over to chapter 20. Some of these chapters are kind of short, some are long. This particular one is actually somewhat long. So I'm waiting for Grammarly to load. Only two? Really, Grammarly? I highly doubt that. Also, I apologize for my massively loud keyboard. It's just the one that I have at the moment. Keeps yelling at me because I reuse words. For a little bit of context here, they are, in this particular chapter, they are actually, her and a classmate are actually traveling to deliver a message to a neighboring school. So that's what they're dealing with right now. I am attempting to stay engaged with chat, so please say something if I get super zoned in on what I'm doing. Oh well. I'm at least trying to pay attention to chat. I hope you're having a good evening, Wraith, and that goes for anyone else who's here. My whole purpose with the Sunday evening streams, well, just all of my streams in general, but specifically the Sunday evening ones and the reading ones, is to provide a place with some chill, cozy vibes before you go back to work for the week. So... it would help if I could type correctly. That'd be awesome. Well, he probably has some idea who she is. Well, you're correct though. That's a great observation. You are correct because a lot of people seem to know things about her father that she doesn't. Not necessarily bad things, but they just seem to know more than she does. So it gets interesting after a while. But yes, you are quite correct on calling VS on that one because, yeah, um, like I said, a lot of people know more things about her father than she does. So, it'll get interesting later. Oops. Um, oh, man. Ugh. I have to go all the way back up. Oh, oh my word. Ugh. Don't mind me. I'm just doing some translation formatting. I have to go into HTML mode to do this. It's kind of a pain. Oh, actually, it did translate that one. Nice. go. That's what I was gonna fix. Formatting, that's a pain in the butt. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to spike my microphone. Oh, I did actually do that one. No, I was actually going into the HTML to do the translation stuff. So see what happens when I hover over this word here? It actually has a translation for it. But in order to put those in, I have to go into HTML mode, which makes me go cross-eyed. So... extra spaces are a thing. Alright. Now it's making me go through it all again. Oh. Oh, we have an ad coming up in about 5 minutes. Mm. Okay. Making sure that I actually did the translations because I missed some earlier. Oops. Let's try that again. Alright. Yeah. Sometimes I look at the suggestions it gives me and I'm just like, no, I want to keep it that way. Alrighty. Oh. would help if I could type. That would be wonderful. There we go. And we're back from our ad. Sorry about that. As I'm going full focus mode. Sorry. Totally me right now. Thanks, Reeve. Yep. Shrimping and slouching, per usual. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you looking out for me. Alright. Also, if you're seeing any text like this within the carrots or the brackets, I guess whatever they're actually called, I use that when I'm having the character speak in Katani without having to actually write it because I'm lazy. So that's how I denote that they're talking in Katani and on Basic. So. you very much for that stretch. Well, if you're looking at it on Archive of Our Own, it might be a little better. Hold on, give me a second. My train of thought went out the window. Keep in mind that these are all fanfiction and they do not contain any of the legacy characters, I guess you would call them. So no Luke Skywalker or anybody like that. Like, they might be mentioned in passing, but all these characters are all original. And yeah, so no legacy characters. If you're trying to pinpoint where we are in the not particularly. I try to write these stories from the main character's perspective. In this case, it's Marin. I don't know how many of the Star Wars books you've actually read, but if you're familiar with any of like the Legends books at all, or I guess you might call them the Expanded Universe. Okay, well that helps me out. So that's totally okay. So if you had read any of the Expanded Universe books, or what they're calling Legends now, these stories take place after the Vong War. Give me just 2 seconds and I can actually find out for you. Grammarly, why? So we're going off script a little bit. Right. So yeah, so these take place several decades after the Vong War. So any of the Vong War books, if you, you can find a chronology of all the Star Wars books, I think, in multiple places. So the Healer Quadrilogy, which is the first 4 stories that I ever wrote, which deal with my first character, Callista. So it's these 4 right here: Reflections of a Padawan, Prelude to War, Never Judge a Mando, and Time Heals All Wounds. Those, starting with Reflections of a Padawan, they take place in about 37 ABY, so 37 years after Battle of Yavin. And then there's different time period clues in like the story descriptions. I actually had to sit down recently and sort out the actual order that they're supposed to be written in, based on those, because I was reading them just in order of the series, which is not the correct order to read them in. So they're a little mixed up as far as like order, but this is actually the correct one. So the story that we're editing right now and that I've been reading is this one here, which I call Train Your Daughter for short, or TYD, because saying the whole actual title is a mouthful. So when I'm talking about it just in general conversation or here on stream, I'll just say Train Your Daughter or TYD when I'm talking about it. So, oh goodness, sorry. Yeah, it's been a busy day. I think I used up all my spoons. But yeah, wow, 25 years. This is what I do in my spare time. I write stories. Oh, yes, I have seen The Matrix. No, if you if you hear me talking about spoons, it's because I have several chronic conditions that I deal with, health wise, and for anybody that is not familiar, there is something called the spoon theory. So if you or someone you know has a chronic condition, say chronic pain syndrome, nerve damage, something like that they have to continually maintain and that can really kind of sap their energy, that is what we're referring to, or what I'm referring to when I talk about not having enough spoons to do something. So for someone with any kind of chronic illness, every person has a certain number of spoons or a certain amount of energy to give to any task. For a normal person, it might take 2 spoons to get out of bed and go to work, right? But for me, or anybody with a chronic condition, and this can vary based on the person and the condition that they're dealing with, sometimes it takes me like, say I start my day with, I don't know, 12 spoons, right? So that's the number of spoons, and that's the number of energy I have for my day. Sometimes I'm having a really good day, and I can get out of bed, and it takes 2 or 3 spoons, right? Sometimes I'm having a really bad day, and it can take me 4 or 5 or more spoons to get out of bed. And then it's just a really rough day, because I've already used up, half my spoons just getting out of bed, and then I have to go to work. So it's kind of cumulative when you're dealing with people who have a low energy threshold, which I can on occasion. I may have actually overdone it today. So I'm paying for that a little bit right now. But I'm here. I'm still streaming. And I'm at least mostly coherent. At least I hope so. But yes. So you will occasionally hear me talk about not having enough spoons for something. Or the spoon theory. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about spoons. It's just a metaphor for somebody's level of energy when they're dealing with a chronic condition. So, but yes, I am quite familiar with The Matrix. Yes. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I'm not so great at explaining it. But I always kind of approach it as I have a I have a set amount of spoons for the day. Sometimes I get really good sleep and I'm doing really well, and I can get out of bed and I can go do my stuff and I come home and I have all this energy. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't sleep very well, and then I just don't have lots of energy. So. I deal with chronic nerve issues, among other things, so it can kind of sap my energy to do stuff. But some days are better than others. Yeah, essentially. It's the same general principle, I suppose. So if you have somebody that deals with a chronic illness, it takes them a certain number of spoons just to kind of function, and do the normal things like getting out of bed and getting breakfast and going to work. Doing all those things can take, sometimes 2 spoons, or on a really bad day, sometimes 4 or 5. So, yeah. So it's just something I have to really pay attention to. I had all kinds of energy this morning. Like, to the point that I was doing stuff before I even had breakfast. Which was probably not the best idea. Because then I kind of paid for that later. I did all kinds of chore stuff before I even had food. Yeah. But, yes. But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things today, I had a pretty productive day. I got, like, 3 chores done out of, like, the 4 or 5 that I wanted to do today. Well, 3.5. Let's be realistic. 3.5. Out of the 4 or 5 that I wanted to do today. Or needed to get done, I should say. So I made progress. Maybe not as much as I wanted to, but I made progress nonetheless. So, yeah, I had a bunch of chores and things to do today, so. Right? No, you're totally fine. That is like minor chaos on the grand scale of things. I have dealt with much more. Your shenanigans are pretty low key. Oh. Oh, okay. Thanks, Grammarly. If I had a cookie, I would go get one. Alright, chapter 20. Oh, thanks, Frosty Tools. Yeah. Yeah, for reals. I thought he was going to be around tonight, but he might be sleeping or doing other things. He said he wasn't feeling well recently, which is okay. Like I said earlier, it's important to take care of yourself. So, let's see if I can get. Yes, I mean we all have our own level of shenanigans, and that's completely fine. As long as it's all in good fun. So. Yeah, he told me that the last time I talked to him. They've been really bad lately. Ugh, I don't have seasonal allergies, so I suppose I'm good in that respect. But I can imagine how just kind of draining and debilitating really bad ones are. My dad used to deal with really bad allergies, so I can understand that to a degree. Yeah, but oh, I don't drink enough water. Let's fix that. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Let's try that again. But yeah, so yeah, he's not here right now, like in stream that I'm aware of, which is okay. If he's not feeling well, he should be resting. So, like I said, take care of yourself. It's important. There we go. Oh goodness. Oop. We have an ad starting in about 4.5 minutes, just so you guys are aware. Kala, welcome in. Still telling me I have stuff to do. Really? Okay. We went ad break. Alrighty. And we're back from our ad. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, sometimes it tries to fix it and just completely mangles it, so. It's a long one. I hope you're having a good evening, Carla. It's good to see you. I'm waiting for this to catch up with me. There we go. Sometimes I wonder because, like, it'll sit there and try to suggest something, and then it'll just mangle it even after. I'm like, yes, I want to do that. Is it actually incorrect? Because I think it's that way. Yeah. Nope. Mm-hmm. Alright. Thanks, Frosty Tools. It's funny though, because I don't have Twitter anymore. I actually turned off my Twitter because it was not being helpful for my mental health. It's causing me a lot of stress, so I turned it off. But if you guys have Twitter, please feel free to post that if you like. No pressure. But yes, I think you're correct, Wraith. I think that Grammarly was coded in, what is it, Shiruk? Shiruk? The Wiki language. I think you're right. I think you are correct on that one. Alrighty. But I do believe you are correct. Alright. Alrighty. Checking something real quick. Give me a second. My nerves are being a punk. Oh, I hate that. Alrighty. I was just checking something. Alright. Oh. Tells me I'm done and then it tells me still stuff to do. I think it just did that. Yeah, see, it totally did that nonsense. Alright. Are we actually good now, Vermily? We are. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how they coded that specifically, but it does weird things and tends to have a mind of its own, which is why most of the time I don't accept everything that it tells me, because it breaks it half the time anyway. Oof. Is it already almost 9? Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah, some of these chapters are kind of short. I've actually started trying to combine some of the shorter ones just for length when I'm reading. So. Yeah, your thing of 2 things to review is not correct, Grammarly. trying to get this done out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, dude. There we go. Oh, goodness. So sorry. How is this a fragment, Grammarly? Are you serious? How is this a fragment? Sentence fragments my butt. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Actually gonna... So that was chapter 23, actually. So 5 chapters today. That's pretty good. Gonna swap screens here. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see what we got going on. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I should be kind of calling it quits. Alright, let's see. Hey, just sniper. I thought you were resting. Just as I'm about to end, sir. Alright. Just as I'm about to end for the evening. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I thought you were resting then. Seeing here. Hey, the sniper. Since you just came in, do you have a suggestion on somebody we could raid? I'm not entirely sure if everybody I have on my follow list is, well, that's currently streaming is somebody that you know. So. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Someone to raid out to. It is 9 o'clock. Almost. Almost. I mean, if you don't, that's completely fine. There's no big deal. Don't have to raid out if we don't want to. I just like to share support when I can. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have a bunch of our mutual friends followed or not. I know I have some, but I don't know if I've got all of them. So, if you have a suggestion, let me know. Oh my goodness. So sorry. I think that's me having done a little bit too much today. Expensive cardboard. Well, thank you, Wraith. If you'd like to catch up on, oh wow, let me try that again. If you, if you'd like to catch up, when you have some time, I can get you the link. So, there you go. Let's see what I got. Okay. Give me just 1 second here while I get this sorted. I can't, like, brain today. Okay. Give me just 1 second while I get this set up. Sorry, guys. Still haven't gotten this ironed out, so it's all nice and fancy. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Yes. Please feel free to give that a read if you guys are curious about the stories. And you can always feel free to ask questions in chat, whether I am reading or just workshopping like I am this evening. Always happy to answer questions if you guys are curious. Because I know that for a lot of you, because these are fan fictions, they don't contain any of the legacy characters, so you might feel a little bit confused, which is completely normal. So, alright. So for those of you who are following the channel, if you'd like to hang around for the raid, or actually that's the subscriber one, but for anybody that's here this evening and would like to hang around for the raid, if you're a subscriber, you can grab the first raid message, and if you are a follower of the channel, you can grab the second one right here, and I would greatly appreciate if you guys would tag along for that raid. We're gonna go go see Captain Catastrophe, who is a mutual friend of Snipa and Wraith and myself. They are currently playing World of Tanks. So let's go say hi. And I will see you guys over there. Give me just a minute. Yeah, I was checking out both channels, and I'm going to go say hi to Captain Catastrophe this evening. So let's go say hi. And I'm gonna swap over to my end screen as my ads are starting. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you all, and have a wonderful evening and a start to your week.
That's what I'm saying. He went forever to try to go